All right.
All
We're
right.
in.
So this is the Beyond Celebrity Show. I'm your host, Cesar Pena. We got the co-host, Miguel Sanchez.
What's up, everybody?
And I got my brother from another mother, Mr. Sharif Fajardo.
Hello, everybody. What's good? Hope everybody's well, staying safe, staying clear of the virus.
Let him know. So Reef, I know Sharif since I was a young man. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew Sharif. I was like 17, 16, around that age. And Reef always played ball, yes. But, we became brothers through, he lived in the same neighborhood as me and everything. And he played for LaSalle, and then he went to UTEP. And then he was in the Olympics, played for the Puerto Rican national team. I was the only one at the Garden rooting for Sharif at that time.
Well, we can't forget it was you. It was Jason Armstrong.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Who else was it? I think Derek Swift was there.
Derek Swift, Jamel.
Yeah, Mel. Y'all came through and held me down, man. Like that felt so good to see you guys in the stands, man.
Yo, let me tell you this thing right here, right? We in the stands, right? Reef hooked it up. He was like, yo, come support. And I'm like, yo, say nothing. We there. So we there, and he's going against the USA Olympic team. Like they had Vince Carter, they had Tim Duncan, they had
Tracy McGrady. Yeah,
I mean,
they had that team. They had Elton Brand. They had Jermaine O'Neal. They had Richard Jefferson, Dwayne Wade. Yeah, they had a crew. They had a squad.
I know. So I'm in the stands. We're like, man, they showing off. They throwing alley-oops and they dunking and all that. And then the game starts, and Reef is giving the business to Tim Duncan. I was like, oh, let's go.
I had to show a moment like that. Like, I'm sure a lot of people and athletes can attest to this. Like, something happens in you, man, where you just like step it up like 4 or 5 levels. When you have these people that are like super athletes in front of you, like, I don't know if it's the adrenaline, and like you enter into a state of hyper focus ability, hyper in alpha, where you're just like functioning at levels that which are even higher than you thought yourself could be able to function at. And I attribute it to that, man. Like, they definitely forced me to bring the best out of myself in those moments,
That was definitely one of I lost my voice. You know what I'm saying? Like people were like, "Yo, sit down." Like we were.
That was a beautiful experience.
Let's
man.
go.
That was a beautiful thing, man. One of those memories I'll never forget.
Never. So besides that, Sharif is very into working out. He's a personal trainer. How long you been a personal trainer, Sharif?
I got certified back in 2013, but I've always been into fitness. It was something that helped me to, keep myself physically fit for the rigors of basketball, professional basketball, right? Always having to push guys and be stronger, being able to last longer, run faster, jump higher. Physical fitness plays a big part of that. And I was always into that. Part of my background, I was a chubby kid, coming out of the city here in New York City, growing up. And so, when I started playing basketballs, I was a little bit overweight. So like I had to learn about, how to get in shape. So I began working out and doing push-ups and pull-ups, which I really started to take to and like. And ever since then, I saw the improvements and I never stopped, And so like, was one thing that was like my hallmark was like, all right, if I knew that I could be strong and physically fit, then I always had a chance to compete, at a good high level for myself,
Amen, brother. What's the name? I was just talking to Miguel about that, how you took your training and put innovation together and put it together, and you're changing the game when it comes to innovating your training. Explain how that mixture kind of came about.
I don't know. Like it's, you just gotta. I kind of look at it as like trying to evolve with the times, and like me having been a basketball player, yeah, I did a lot of like Olympic style weightlifting and training for explosiveness, but I would read tons of literature, and I also would follow a lot of the gymnastic strength training, you know, and I was like, wow, like when you look at, you know, athletes, like the most ripped guys are the gymnasts, right? These guys got boulder shoulders, they got biceps the size of bowling balls, and they got six packs where they can just do laundry all day on, and they got tons of ability, right? Where like jaw-dropping ability. You see them do handstands and iron crosses and ring presses, and so like I took to that, you know, very seriously, and I saw a lot of benefit in being able to control my own body weight, you know, and you know how much strength that required, how much focus that required in practice, and how impressive it was to the public, you know, someone at my size being able to do all this stuff. And so like I totally, you know, decided to train that way. I found a lot of joy in it, you know, being able to move myself first and foremost, as opposed to like just picking up a dumbbell. Like I prefer to, you know, be able to do muscle ups and handstand push-ups and so forth. And, you know, that was one way I looked, you know, working with clientele for them to like increase not only their strength, but their athletic ability personally, you know, because we all have this ability, you know, to be able to stand on our hands, to be able to get upside down and flip and so forth. It's just a matter of learning, you know, the proper techniques and doing the proper exercises for your current strength level. And with that, you know, comes a lot of knowledge. I studied and read a lot of books on it, but you know, I was able to apply that to my clientele base, you know, and it proved wonders, and it helped me build a solid business, and to, you know, have a lot of credibility with my clients in terms of, you know, them trusting my word, because, you know, here I am 6'9", 245, 250, and I'm cranking, you know, handstand push-ups and handstands, and, you know, they're like, wow, how someone your size able to do that, you know? And so I totally attribute it, you know, just to that.
So other thing, how'd you get into like the training side of it, like you being a personal trainer, you know, how'd you get into that?
Well, I got into training. I always like I said, I always liked training and fitness and such, but you know, life has a funny way of, you know, steering you down certain roads and, you know, down certain streams of life's ocean. And I found myself one day, you know, in the crossroads, and I didn't know which way to go, which discipline to adhere to, you know, in terms of the life path that I wanted to take after having played basketball. I had encountered some hardships, and you know, one way to get myself out of the dirt and down out of the pits was, you know, I knew that, okay, you know, I liked fitness, you know, and, you know, I always enjoyed exercising, and I understood that, you know, being able to work with people, you know, was one of the benefits of being in fitness and personal training. And I figured, you know, hey, I'm a cool guy, you know, I got a nice personality, and I'm fun to be around, and I definitely felt like I could help people, you know, coming from the background that I had, and so, you know, Equinox, they were having an open house many years ago, back in 2012, and I had just applied for the open house. You know, I went there and would, you know, sent my resume in, and they called me in on the same day for the open house, and was like, wow, like you have an impressive resume, you've got so much basketball knowledge, and you're playing at a high level, you know, why don't you come in? We want to interview you. You know, we think you'd be great here, you know, and the rest is history. You know, I got there, and, you know, it worked out. You know, they interviewed me, and they liked my personality and what I, you know, brought to the table. And when they positioned me at one of the clubs, they situated me down in Chelsea, New York City, at the Equinox on 17th Street and 10th Avenue. And it was there where I began, and I flourished, you know, and yeah, that was exactly how I got started there. And, you know, praises be to God and the powers of the universe that enabled me to do so well there.
Amen. Amen, brother. Amen. What's up, Mick?
Yes. I just want to know more about the innovation and the way because right now, right, we're all stuck home.
Yep.
So like, how should people keep themselves in shape right now? What advice would you give anybody right now? What could they do?
So I hear you 100%. So like, we've encountered some hardship and hard times. And one of my mindsets about training with body weight is, you know, we don't need a gym. Like when you're dealing with your own body weight, you are the gym. Now, what it requires is a lot of creativity and understanding certain movement patterns. And so, during this time, I know like most people like to go to a gym, but you don't necessarily need a gym. Being able to do stuff at home, the basics, until you're able to get back to a gym where you might feel a little bit more comfortable and better, will serve your purpose. Doing squats, and devising, certain workout programs and schemes along those natures, doing your push-ups. I know many people like, oh, push-ups are so easy. There's tons of ways that you can make push-ups harder, to build strength and to build the physique that you really like, and especially during this downtime where everybody's like, oh, they're stuck in the house, a simple regimen of 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, where you do what's known as a push-pull sort of circuit, all exercises that require a push, upper body exercises, which would be what? Something that's horizontal pushing, which would be a push-up, right? A vertical push-up, overhead push, which would be like a handstand push-up, or vertically pressing downward in your push would be a dip, or a bench dip, and so forth. And so those are the 3 pushing movements that I would deal with mostly. In terms of pulling, it's the same thing, right? You're either going to be pulling vertically from above head down to the shoulders, or you're going to be pulling horizontally, right? From out front to the chest. And these are your upper body pull and push motions. Now, as far as your lower body, your pushing motions for your lower body would be like squatting, would be like, box jumping, lunging, leg pressing. Since we don't have a leg press machine and we're in the house, you're typically going to be sticking with squats, lunges. A pull motion would be a deadlift. We definitely don't have, if you've got dumbbells in your house, great. You can do dumbbell deadlifts in the home. Or hip thrusting, where you're laying, your shoulders upon, on the edge of the couch or a platform where you're thrusting your hips upward. But these are the basic movement patterns that you're going to be focused on, right? Especially for this time. And you stay within the current strength ranges that they talk about when you're dealing with programming, which is like, 5 to 8 reps for strength. For elite level strength, you're going to be going from 8 to 12 reps. If you want to put on some size, you should be working with 12 to 15 reps. And so understanding those metrics.
Do you mean like reps of 10, 20? What was the rep?
Yes, so that's what I was saying. Like the repetitions, where there's different categories of repetitions, right? You have strength repetitions, where you're just going to be working with repetitions between 3 reps all the way up to 8 repetitions. That builds raw strength, right? Where you're increasing the potential of your muscle. Now, when you're trying to build a little more size in your musculature, you want to go a little, what they call hypertrophy. You're going to be working with a repetition scheme of 8 to 12. In that 8 to 12 repetitions, that's where the muscle starts to grow a little bit more because you put a little bit more work on it. And then there's the endurance muscular phase, where you're working at higher repetitions. And so that's going to be anywhere between 12, 15, up to 20 repetitions. And that's where, those are going to be typically your lighter exercises, because they're easier to do and you can do a lot more repetitions of it. The lower repetition exercises is where the strength is built. When you're working with your 3 to 8s or your 8 to 12, that's where the size and the strength is built for you to be able to maximize your body's potential.
All right. So another question is, I seen you was drinking this crazy shake the other day, right? What is that remedy shake that you put in your shake, brother?
So I juice every day, right? And
okay.
One thing about juicing, like it forces you to, to have whole foods, raw foods, and they're natural and they're good for you, right? So I'm on the mindset of keeping, fresh, raw vegetables in my diet, which are going to be helping my immune system to stay very strong. And there's certain foods that enable your immune system to stay strong naturally, because we have all of these pills and all of these supplements out there which are artificial, and I like to stay along the natural lines. And so spinach is one, ginger another, carrots and apples. So that's exactly what I put inside of my mixture. And the number of carrots, I use about 5 or 6 carrots. I use 2 apples for sweetness. I use a huge bunch of spinach. So you go to the local grocery store, you buy the large bunch of spinach, and you juice all of that, and then you put like a good handful of ginger. And the properties of ginger, it helps to fight off, germs and disease, and it keeps your immune system functioning at high levels. And constantly feeding yourself these particular nutrients keeps your body strong and being able to fight off infection, fight off being sick, fight off catching viruses and so forth. And so, like, I'm totally in line with that whole mindset of natural is better for you.
Amen.
And there are tons of other foods, antioxidants, which keep your skin looking young, which keep your skin looking fresh, which help get rid of mucus in the body, because when you have mucus formation in the body, that leads to the sickness and all of the cold and so forth. So like keeping certain foods out of your diet, which is bad for you, and keeping the good ones in your diet, which are good, will help to keep your system functioning at good high levels.
So what's some bad food? What's some of the bad foods? Give us the hard.
I want to know some of the bad foods.
All right, are your gluten-filled foods, right? So you've got white bread, you've got your white rice, you've got your white potatoes, you've got your white sugar. You want to stay away from that stuff. I know they make good food with that. You've got your good sandwiches with the bread and so forth. But if you're concerned about your health in the long run, you want to stay away from that. You want to stay away from cheeses. Too many cheeses, right? The cheese and the dairy is what builds up the mucus in the body as well. You want to stay away from the cheese and the dairy. I like cheese. I can't lie, right?
So
I sprinkle a little bit on here and there, once in a blue moon. But like where some people are having tons of cheese on a regular basis, I do not do that. And you will totally see a big benefit. Another thing about bread is that it has gluten in it. Gluten is an agent that inflames your joints. So a lot of these foods, they cause joint inflammation in the knees, in the elbows, in the shoulders. So if you got arthritis and you start eating these foods heavily, your arthritis is going to be multiplied by 3 in the negative. So it's going to be like worse for you. You're going to be having sore knees, achy knees as a result of having eaten these foods, because they contribute to the inflammation. Whereas the other foods, they are anti-inflammatories, and they're natural anti-inflammatories. So like, people with arthritis, they say, oh, if you got arthritis, take these anti-inflammatory pills. These are medicines and pills, artificial. Like, you don't need that. All you need to do is adhere to a whole food diet with natural foods, because nature has everything that we need to get well in it. It's just man-made. Man has devised ways to make medicines and serums so they can make money off of it. But the nature has all the nutrients that's needed for us to be well. That's why, like, a lot of these holistic homeopathic medicines and doctors, they last until they're 80 or 100 years old, because they're just like eating normal, natural, whole foods. And it's just the way to go.
Amen. I know you hurt Miguel's feelings.
So,
well, a lot of people, right? Because we have
I'm devastated.
And we have these things that we've gotten used to having. We've gotten used to it, right? And it's not that we can't get away from it. It's that we like, oh, but I'm so used to having it. It's like more of a habit. You just got to kind of break it, slowly, obviously, right? Some people can break it right away, but try to wean yourself off of that stuff, and you'll see tons of benefit. Your energy levels will shoot up, and your body will start feeling a whole lot better. You'll start dropping weight immediately, because you're adhering to more of a natural food source, a natural diet. You'll totally see the benefits right away.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Reef. I was gonna ask you the same thing. Like, what, especially staying home all the time and stuff like that. What would you say to start off like with a diet, right? Like to start like day one, your first 5 days. Like this week is perfect because Monday's coming up, right? So
okay, so like I would say, if you want to start on Monday, let today and Sunday be the last days you have your junk food, right? And so going with the mindset going forward now, I'm going to have junk food once every other week. So that way, you kind of slowly bring yourself off of having bad food, right? So, for every other week, you're going to allow yourself one cheat meal. A cheat meal could be anything you want, but it's just one meal. So it could either be for breakfast, or it could be for lunch, or it could be for dinner. But if you have it for breakfast, that means lunch and dinner, you're right back on to eating clean. You know, if you have it for dinner, that means breakfast and lunch is eating clean, and dinner is your cheat meal. And same thing with lunch, you know. But starting there, like, you know, like I said, you want to get rid of all the sugar and processed foods out of your cupboards, the gluten-heavy foods, right? You know, the cheeses, the bread, and so forth. And you want to adhere to more of an alkaline diet. So, like, for instance, you know, in the breakfast time, you want to start having fruits and vegetables for breakfast. You know, you want to eat a sack of oranges. You want to get oranges and apples, some watermelon, some milk, to give yourself this nutrients and this water, because as you sleep overnight, your body starts to get dried out. And so waking up the first thing in the morning, give yourself this fruit, number one, because it'll help to replenish you in terms of, you know, the water loss and the sugar loss overnight. Number two is that it's lighter on your body to digest, especially first waking up out of your sleep. And so, like, this will give your digestive system a chance to kind of like ramp up and get ready to start digesting heavier foods later in the day. And
what about oatmeal? Is oatmeal good for breakfast or no?
Oatmeal is, for some, it works. It works for some people, right? I'm not a big fan of oatmeal. I used to like the way it tastes, but oatmeal is one of those things that, you know, it causes joint inflammation for me. So I stay away from it.
Really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
It does, and so I stay away from oatmeal.
Wow.
For some people, it works, though, you know, and if it works for you, fine. And that's another thing. Like, everybody's a little bit different, and so what works for Peter might not work for Paul, you know, and so you've got to find what's working for you and your body.
So what about eggs?
Eggs, all right, eggs are dairy, right? So eggs aren't too bad, but, you know, at the same time, you know, I feel a little bit weird about eggs, you know. They're like, you know, chicken abortions.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not into eating chicken abortions.
And I
know they're loaded with tons of protein, but that protein can be gotten with more natural food, like plant-based proteins. You can get your proteins through your plant-based stuff. You know, you don't necessarily need to be eating.
Are you a vegan? Are you a vegan?
No, I'm not vegan. No.
So someone asked in the comments.
I'll eat fish. I'll eat some chicken here and there. I'll eat some steak. I don't have tons of it, but, you know, I eat a lot more fish than I do the steaks and chicken. But, like, I like the eggs, they kind of gross me out. I've never, like seeing the yolks, and I can get grossed out from it pretty quickly.
All right.
So Josh asked, are Caesar salads okay to eat?
Caesar salad is okay, right? But what happens is the dressing in the Caesar salad is so loaded with preservatives. So, like a basic salad, if you want to do a salad, you do regular romaine lettuce. You do like a red onion. You chop up a red onion. You chop up like a quarter of a cucumber, and you go with a little sprinkle of olive oil and balsamic vinegar. And that's your salad. It's light. It's digestible. Olive oil is great for your body. You're not giving yourself this heavy, loaded, preservative-filled salad dressings like Caesar and all these other things.
Wow.
And so Josh says, so basically eat chicken and broccoli every meal?
Not necessarily every meal, but, like, you know, broccoli is great for you. Why? Because broccoli has tons of protein in it. And it's another green food, which is also going to help to boost your immune system. I eat tons of broccoli. I always eat broccoli. So, like, you know, you can have chicken, you can have fish, or you can have steak, right? Lean cuts of meat, along with your salad, with your vegetables. You can have, you know, broccoli. You can have asparagus. You can have spinach. You can have broccoli and carrots, or spinach and carrots. Like, you can do a total medley, a mix. But, like, yes, keeping those green veggies in your diet is the way to go.
Green and veggies.
And I know it sounds boring, right? Food, you know, we should be eating to live, but a lot of people live to eat, right? Because oh my gosh, I gotta fill my face with all this great tasting food. Food should serve the purpose of, you know, keeping your engine running and giving you optimal performance, like gasoline in a car. You know, yes, we like some good tasting stuff. So on occasion, yeah, why not, you know, give some good spices on it? But, like, in terms of eating bad food on because of you wanting the good taste, you know, it's going to hurt you in the long run.
Man, that's good. That's good. That's good. What's the? I gotta get on my grind, Reef. What's the name? I seen the way hot, like right now during this coronavirus and being, you know, sheltered at home. How do you keep up with your clients? Like how does that go?
So
Like,
what I've been doing, you know, I write programs for my clients, you know, and a lot of them are like self-motivated, self-starters. And so like they've got a little bit of equipment at home and they've been with me for a while now, over 5 years, 6 years. So like when I send them a program or a workout for the week or 2 weeks, they know exactly what the tempos are, the rep schemes are, because I tell them, and they go ahead and do it themselves. And then there's certain of my other clients that like virtual training and they like to be on the video cam with me, where I'm coaching them and making sure that their form is good. And so with them, you know, I do virtual training, which has functioned and worked very well. And it just gives me a chance to be in presence with my clientele again, which is also nice, you know, them hearing me and me seeing them and vice versa. And so that's what's been going on during this time of coronavirus. Another thing about this time of coronavirus is, you know, some people's, you know, businesses have been shut down. And, you know, I like to put this analogy out there, like, you know, the sea, life is, you know, analogous to a sea, right? Like, and we are sailors. And so like, we're boats and sailors. And so we set out to sea. We can't ask life to give us smooth waters and, you know, oh, please don't give me any hard waves on my journey, you know, where I'm going in terms of my destination. You know, as a good sailor, you got to be able to batten down the hatches in your boat, and you got to be able to set your sails, adjust your sails accordingly, and harness the wind and use that to take you to where your goal is. And so this is one of those times. I know coronavirus has fucked up everybody's life. It's messed everything up. This is not the time to be pouting and crying. This is the time to be a good sailor. Batten down the hatches, set your sails good, and you sail these damn waters, and you use this time to let it take you to the future, to your profitable future. So that means, you know, having a good plan, you know, sitting down and eyeing out what it is I want to do with these extra hours that I have, right? What kind of education am I getting on a daily? You know, a lot of people just sit down and claim they don't do anything all day. Like, don't you know there's a whole thing of YouTube? That shit is like a university. You could be learning so much in YouTube, and it's all free.
Yep.
It's all free, like webinars out the wazoo. Like, so, like when people say, oh, I don't have nothing to do, like, you could create another stream of income during this time. You can create a small business. You can create a Shopify store, which I've done already. I've created 3 of them. Like, this is the time to enhance yourself.
Yeah, Reef. Let them know, Reef. That's what we've been preaching,
man. Like it, like there's going to be the whiners and they're going to be the grinders. The whiners are going to say, "Oh, this is happening," and you know, I wish it was back normal. I wish it was normal. And then the grinders are like, you know what? This is what's normal right now, and this is how I have to move forward. And so be it. I'm going to move forward this way. And when better days comes, I'm going to adjust my sails again, because I'm the sailor, and this is how I sail my ship. And when the better wind comes to take me, I'm going to catch it. But in the moment, I got to ride these damn waves out, and I'm going to do the best I can with these waves.
That's really good. That's good. Good motivation right there. Do you create content around the stuff you're talking about right now? Do you put that out there?
No, I haven't actually. I'm pretty bad at, like, you know, consistently creating this motivating content and stuff. I have to be better with that. You know, I kind of feel like, oh, who wants to listen to Reef? You know, and so like I kind of don't. And so I just really been focusing on like just, all right, because like I said, I created a few Shopify stores. All right, let me learn how to market, you know, drive traffic to my Shopify store. So I've learned tons of marketing skills and Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing, influencer marketing. So all the stuff I didn't even know anything about, now I have these skills. And so that's what I've been focused on. But definitely I would like, and I need to possibly, you know, start, you know, putting out a little more content on positivity and mindset motivation, you know?
Like I could see already based on I'm motivated to go do some push-ups already.
Hey, that's what's up. Yes.
You every day put out a video, and I think right now is your time. Everybody's wondering what the hell to do. You created a video every morning, like, yo, just do this, whatever the thing, and you'll get a bunch of fucking views. I believe.
And this is another reason why I'm bringing. I brought you on here. Of course, you're my brother, and you know I always got your back. But I've been seeing you on Instagram gradually putting up. Like I saw the video you with your client on video doing that stuff.
Great,
you know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to push you to start doing content and creating. You know, because you're a very motivating individual. Everybody knows that right now. People that don't know you, but I always know you've been a motivating guy. But you got so much to give that this is the time just to let it out. You know what I'm saying? Just release the hounds.
That's
you know,
man, you're right. Release the Kraken.
Like right now, if every morning you put out, yo, here's today's simple 15-minute workout, whatever, 30-minute workout, and you do it, and people can watch it and try to replicate it, I think you could blow up with just that right now. Because I think right now, everybody's having a tough time with all parts of life, but exercise is a huge one. You know, like you said, you've been able to train people, but I believe doing that will bring in more personal training gigs too, right? Like even after this, if people start knowing who you are and like the positivity, because I think even while you're working out, you could be dropping the.
I think he froze, Reed.
Yeah, he froze.
No, but what he's trying to say, definitely the positivity while you're working out and really, you know, bringing it home. Like the stuff that you did with the drinks, I was like, oh shit! Like automatically, I was on that, you know. But you know, breaking down mornings, right? Breaking down morning, yo, this is how I start the morning. You know, working out,
sharing a little bit more of my personals. Okay, I could do that.
Yeah. I mean, definitely, you know, you always got the secret sauce. You know what I'm saying? You know, but you know, definitely that motivation and showing them what to do. You know, because I ain't never seen nobody 6'9" do handstand. You know what I'm saying?
I know that's what I get told a whole lot of. Like, holy shit, like you can do that shit. I was like, yeah. And they're like, I want to train with you then. Like, that's exactly how my business was when I was with Equinox.
Yeah.
I would wait until the gym was really crowded, and I would just start busting handstand push-ups. And like tons of people would just be like, "Oh, I want you as my trainer. I want you as my trainer. I've never seen a man your size do that." Like, oh, okay, cool, like, you know, and like it was happening like clockwork that way, you know. So,
but Reef, we always talk about. Go ahead.
You do the same thing on Instagram now, right? Like instead of just being Equinox, they can see you on video. Like, holy shit, I want this guy to be my trainer, you know. And you got the direct contact. And I think right now it's a huge opportunity to grow a brand like yours, right? Like people are waking up every day with not much to do. If you're like, look, here's a 10-minute workout today to get you started, and then maybe you post later. Here's an easy recipe that you can up your immune system, because what you said right now about the immune system, that's really important right now with this COVID thing, right? If you're like, yo, just by having this, I think you said apples. I'm gonna have to rewind it. I'm gonna watch this again.
Yeah, apples, carrots, spinach, and ginger.
So that little recipe right there, if you show people, you know, this is a good drink to have every day to up your immune system to make sure, you know, you keep this COVID thing away, even if you slip up and somebody around you has it. You know, I think right now you're in a good position to really grow what you do.
That's what's up. No, I agree with you. I agree, and I'll definitely be a little more proactive about getting more.
So where can people follow you though? Because I want to put it in the chat. What's your Instagram?
My Instagram handle is Master Reef, MasterReef NYC. Master Reef.
Master Reef NYC.
All right. I'm about to put it up.
Yeah, brother. So I know a lot of people are like, yo, they're getting their shit right now. they're writing down. They're like, yo.
Yeah, but I'm gonna put out a bunch more recipes like for like juicing and cooking too, because I know how to cook very well. And I'll show you guys some like really quick, easy cook meals, low calorie, high protein, and really healthy for you. That'll just teach you like, you know, I'll call it the thin kitchen or the lean kitchen. And that way it'll just show you how to cook something really quickly and really healthy.
That right there will get you.
Wow. Yeah,
because a lot of times, you know, people use a lot of, like I said, butter and so forth, and like there's ways around that if you just use natural ingredients to give yourself flavor and, you know, a little bit of the basics, a lot more of the olive oil instead, can change, you know, a whole bunch in about the next 4 or 5 months for yourself, you know.
Wow. I'm definitely gonna go buy.
Can't wait.
I'm gonna get a big thing of olive oil.
Well, yeah, you want olive oil. You want to keep tons of water. I only drink water, like, you know. I have wine, of course, some rosé in the evening.
All right.
But like, other than that, I'm drinking tons of sparkling water. I like my little Perrier, or I like some Pellegrino, and I drink that stuff tons. Or I just drink regular.
Is that better than regular water?
Huh?
Is that better than regular water? Is sparkling water better than regular water?
No, it's preference. I like sparkling water just because I used to like soda when I was a kid, right? Because of the burningness in the back of the throat. And the only thing close to that is the sparkling water. So that way I don't get none of the calories, but I get all of the same feeling.
Yep. So do you have a time that you don't eat no more? Like, let's say at nighttime.
Yeah, so like, especially now when I'm older, when I was younger, my metabolism was a lot stronger and always firing off. I'd eat at whatever time. Now I have dinner at like 6:30, and then I don't eat anything after that. And if you do want to eat something, right, you gotta start keeping healthier snacks around, right? So you got to keep, like, you know, you want to keep fruit around. You want to keep the vegetables around. Like, you want to snack on celery. You want to snack on apples, or snack on carrots. You want to snack on almonds, and not a lot. You know, a lot of people, when they start snacking on almonds, they do big handfuls and they wind up eating like 50.
Yeah.
You want to only eat maybe 15 of them.
Okay.
That's like a small handful.
Wow.
Nope. You know. So, you know, being able to snack that way, that's exactly what you want to do. But always keeping those fresh foods around. Staying away from all of the crazy cookies and, you know, the potato chips and all of that nonsense, you know.
Yeah.
Now, if you're already a lean person or somewhat in shape, that stuff won't hurt you too bad, right?
Yeah.
But if you're obese, or if you're a little bit overweight and you got more around your stomach than you want, then that stuff is going to be bad for you. So like I said, everybody's a little bit different. You have to assess where you are and where you would like to be, and then, you know, start walking the path.
What is for you, what is one of your attacks to like body fat? You know what I'm saying? Like fat, like in your body. Like what are some of the things that could attack, besides working out, of course, like food-wise?
Food, yeah, like I said, so like you want to start diminishing the amount of fat that your body takes in. You want to be at kind of like a deficit, right? Okay. And that's where weight loss starts to happen. Caloric deficit. And so, like I said, if you start to take out the white bread, white rice, the potatoes, white potatoes, right? You'll notice a big difference and big change. If you like to drink fruit juices, right? Hawaiian punches or Snapples, or, you know, if you're drinking Tropicana orange juice in the morning, that stuff is loaded with sugar. You start leaving all that alone and you start really having water, like you will notice a big drop. You'll probably lose like 6 pounds in the first week.
Wow.
Without even exercise. Then when you add exercise on top of that, that's when the mega weight loss comes in. But like learning how to cut calories out of your cupboards, right? Look in your cupboard, you know, look at what you got in there. You know, if it's nonsense, you got to get it out. And then that way you start putting whole foods, natural foods into your refrigerator. That's the way you want to go. Having lean cuts of meat like tuna fish. Another good snack are sardines, right? Most people don't like sardines sometimes, but they're very high in protein, very low in fat.
Wow. Right.
Tuna, albacore, stark white tuna, you know, bumblebee or whatever, star kiss or whatever. Albacore.
So no mayonnaise, though, right? No mayonnaise.
Say again?
No mayonnaise on the tuna?
No. So if you do mayonnaise, right? I know most people like mayonnaise, see, like that, stuff like that, staying away from the mayonnaise, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you do light mayonnaise.
Oh, they got the mayonnaise with the olive oil.
Right. But you don't do like you do light. So mayonnaise, there's different types of there's fat-free mayonnaise, there's light mayonnaise. You go with the light or the fat-free, right? Or what I like to do is I just put hot sauce. I put a little bit of hot sauce on my tuna. I squeeze a fresh lemon over it, and that gives, and I chop it up and mix it, and it gives it a nice little tangy taste, and it's still great. And and if you want mayonnaise, you might do a teaspoon of it, right? Start cutting down your portion, doing portion control.
In my head, I'm like, so yeah, that sounds good on some white bread. What are you eating with?
I get it. Most people like to have their bread, so you go with 7 grain. Go with the grains. 7 grains, 10 grain bread, right? And even with the bread, right? So you don't need 2 slices of bread. Maybe you use 1 slice and you cut that 1 slice in half, and then you eat that half a slice with your tuna. Portion control, right? Controlling the portion. And that way you can still have what you like based off of your taste buds, but it's not going to be so much that it gives you the excess calories.
You know what? Something I heard and I've been doing since the quarantine is, someone told me that the best way to build up is to do enough exercise where you're not going to be sore. So like keep your repetitions low, but you do it as often as possible. Is that something you recommend?
Yeah. So that's how I got strong as well. That's known as daily undulated periodization. And so with daily undulated periodization, it's a great way to get strong over time because you're not working towards your max, or you're not maxing out ever, right? So when you max out, usually you expend, a lot of energy in your muscle, and then it tears and it rips and it gets sore, and you need a few days to recover and get back from the soreness. When you work just below your maxes, a few reps. So for instance, we'll say, what if your maximum pull-ups, are 8 pull-ups, well, you only work with 3 on a consistent basis, throughout the day, right? You might do 6 sets of 3 reps. You might do 1 set in the morning where I do 3, and then I come back an hour later and I do another 3, and I come back another hour or 2 minutes later, do another 3. Throughout the day, you will have been able to do, for instance, 21 if you did 7 sets of that, right? As opposed to in 1 hour workout trying to bang out, 21 reps, which would have been a lot harder within the hour. This way you stay fresher. It's a primer also for your central nervous system, because the part about getting strong is how efficient the brain is at sending the signal to the muscle to contract. And so the fact that you have this consistent efforts throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month of constantly, firing off this musculature, that sends a good signal to the brain and clears the path. That way the body will get stronger and learn that movement pattern a lot easier and more efficiently and get stronger that way. And as you get stronger, you do that for a month or so, and then, you take a few days off, and then you test yourself, right? So if you were working your pull-ups, you would do that for a month, and then you would take a few days, and then you would test your pull-ups again. And let's say, oh, wow, boom, I got a new repetition high of 12. Last one was 8, right? So now, whereas before you were working at 3 reps because you had a repetition of 8, since you got 12, you bump it up to repetition of 5, right? So now that you do 5 on a consistent basis, we're going to do that for the month. And then we're going to take a day off, 3 days off, and then we're going to retest again. And boom, I got 15. And then my work sets now become 7. And that's how you slowly build your work sets in relation to your max effort.
Wow. Man, I feel like I'm in class, Reef. Yeah.
It's a lot of good knowledge, and once you understand it, like, you can totally do it, and you will totally see the benefits. It's just, some people, they get sidetracked, right? They might do it for a few days and then they fall off for a few weeks. But if you stay disciplined, right, and you're consistent and you're disciplined with it on a daily basis, think about this, right? When children are learning how to walk, right, they do that they stand up and they fall down. They stand up and fall down a few times a day for months until they can stand up on their own, right? And then they try to walk. They fall, they get up, stand, they hold stuff and walk. It's that whole thing about constantly trying on a consistent basis, which enables them to develop the strength to fight against gravity and be able to walk and be able to stand. And that's the same thing when you're developing strength, you know, going forward for your own body. And then, yeah, like that's the best, like, sort of like analogy that I can give.
That's awesome. That's awesome, brother. What's the name? With my push-ups, I try to do 10 push-ups like every 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Knock out 10.
Now, I'm gonna ask you, like, is the 10, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, right? 1 is easy, 10 is difficult. How hard are those 10?
Those 10 are not that hard.
Okay, so what number would they be on that scale? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 is easy, 10 is hard.
It'll be about like half. I say about 4 or 5.
Okay, that's good. So that's not a lot of stress, right? That's not a lot of intensity. So that's good. So yeah, you want to be cranking out, and I would even say maybe you stop at 8.
Stop at 8?
Yeah, you can stop at 8 because you don't always have to go to your last good rep, right? You don't always have to go, kill yourself. Like, you can stay just below your maxes and still feel fresh and make a lot of gains going forward.
Okay. But, would you recommend doing it every hour or every 2 hours is good?
I would say, aim for 4 to 6 sets in the day.
Okay.
Right. So if 4 sets is a struggle, you stop at 4. But if 4 sets, when you hit 4 sets, it feels like it's fine on you. You do those other 2 sets, right? And try to put it in maybe every 45 minutes to an hour and a half.
Okay.
That way you're fresh. You get down, bang it out. All right, cool. I'll come back later and do another set, you know?
Nice. Miguel, you was going to ask?
Yeah, I was thinking you said legs and arms. Anything for like midsection, back? Any type of exercises that help for that kind of?
For the back?
Like stomach and back other than sit-ups, like.
So, so there are tons, like a lot of the, so there's one really good exercise. It's known as a knee tuck. So you lay flat on your back, and what you do with the knee tuck is you try to sit yourself up, and you pull your knees all the way into your chest, and then you come right back down to the open flat back position. That's really good in terms of total abdominal contraction, right? Now pull-ups are going to be those are the number one fundamental best exercise to do for your back muscles, right? They work your grips. It works your shoulders. It also works your core because you have to have a strong core in order to stabilize your body from swinging. You know, and so your abs will definitely work there. So being able to perform good pull-ups is a feat in itself. Like, you see a lot of people do pull-ups, they're not so good in their technique. A lot of swinging, a lot of half reps and stuff like that. You want to be able to go full range on your repetitions.
So my immediate next question is another way you can make some money is, what are some like pull-up things you would recommend, right? And what you could do is you could link people to Amazon and get a commission on any time they buy, you know? So like right now I'm thinking, damn, I'm gonna have to get a pull-up thing, but I'm gonna have to find a good one. Pull-up bar.
Yeah, totally. So that was one of my other projects I have going on. I'm setting up another Shopify store. It's a fitness store though. So that way you guys can come to my store and buy bands and buy dumbbells and buy pull-up bars. And I can suggest, certain packages and what to get, based on my videos. So that's exactly what I've been working
on. Right now, that will feel right now. You better hurry up with that one.
No, yeah, that can be up by, what's today? Saturday. That can be up by Monday, up and running by Monday.
Wow.
You got the URL to promote it? You know what it's going to be called? What, the website?
No, it's the Fit Shop. So like I got one already. So I've got to kind of, find out a good domain name for it. Reef's Fit Shop or the Fit Shop or something like that. But it'll be something along those lines, and I'll post it on the gram and try to drive traffic there.
That's what I was about to say. If anybody want anything from Reef, anything what he's saying right now, you could DM him on his Instagram.
Yeah, please reach out to me. You guys need some help. You need some ideas. You need some tips. Just sort through my Instagram channel. You'll see a lot of high level body weight strength exercises. I'm 6'9", 245. You don't see many tall guys doing this kind of stuff, and the fact that that I can do it shows that I know what to do and I know how to do it, and I can. If I got myself to do it, I definitely can get you to do it.
Amen.
But don't hesitate to reach out.
Yeah, man.
I'm
wait. I'm already like, I can't wait.
I'm about to knock out some.
I'm already like, yeah. I'm gonna do my. I've been doing like 10, but I'm gonna go down to 8 and do it more often. I've been doing like 10 here and there whenever I remember. But
my max. I think I can max out at like 35 to 40.
Okay.
So is 10 still good? Is it 8 to 10 still good?
If you think about it, if your max is 40, we'll say that's 25% of your max, right?
Yep.
And that's fine.
Just about, yep.
And so, like I said, in terms of like the daily undulated periodization, where you're not trying to work at your maxes and you want to be consistent and not be sore, like Miguel was talking about, that's the way to go. Stay just below. That way you can pump out tons of sets throughout the day, and your body will definitely, learn those patterns a lot faster. And plus, you'll have a lot more rest in between, so that way your body won't really get too badly sore. And then, you do that for a few weeks before you test yourself again, and then you reset your repetitions. You have to always constantly challenge your body just a bit, though, right? You got to be pushing yourself forward, looking to do a little bit more.
Amen.
How often should you 8? And then when in a week, 2 weeks? When do you start challenging?
Sorry, say again. You kind of froze.
I said, how often do you start challenging? Once a week? Every 2 weeks?
No, so you wait 3 weeks. You want to stick to it for 3 weeks, right? You're going to do 3 weeks of solid work where you're doing your daily push-ups, a few sets a day, we call that sub-maximal, right? So you want to work below your maxes, and you want to do that on the daily. When you feel like you need a rest, you take the day off. Otherwise, you bang your sets out, right? And you do that for 3 weeks. On the 4th week, you rest. You might take 3 to 4 straight days off.
Wow.
Then you test your max again.
Wow. All right.
That way, in that 4th week, right? So, for instance, I've done 3 weeks. So, the start of the 4th week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm going to rest. I'm going to plan a test day on Thursday or Friday. I test myself. I got my new maximum. And now Saturday, Sunday, I rest again. And then Monday starts the new program, the new regimen where I put new reps on myself for 3 more weeks. And then I take that rest period, a test, 3 more weeks. So it's always like a 3-week work period.
Another thing I've been noticing, because we're in quarantine and you go to the supermarket and stuff, and there's all the health food you could want is available. People are buying all the bad stuff. I think if you could use that and start creating like you said, dishes, all right, even that drink that you said, I'm definitely gonna figure out. That's my next run.
But one thing, not everybody has a juicer, right? So I have a juicer. I have this high-powered Breville juicer that I bought some time ago, and it's wonderful. But not everybody has the juicer, right? Not everybody even has a blender. So in that regard, having those juices in the morning is going to be a little more challenging. So you're going to have to rely on eating your food as opposed to drinking it.
Would you recommend? Let's say you don't have a juicer, right? But you put ice in the blender. Would it liquid it down, or would it still be helpful?
So it wouldn't make it as liquidy as a juicer would, right? Because the blender, you're going to be blending it. You're just going to turn it into mush. So it'll come out more like a smoothie.
Okay.
And that's fine as well. Like you can make a fruit smoothie in the morning. it'll fill you up a little bit more than the actual vegetable juice will, you know.
Okay.
Because the vegetable juice, you know, it turns it into juice, but it tosses out the fiber along the side. So there's still some whole foods that are being tossed to the side.
Okay.
You know. And so, like, I also have smoothies as well. Like, I have a blender, and I blend up some good mixes of fruit, some banana, some, you know, almond butter, some blueberries, because blueberries are very good antioxidants to keep your skin young, and they help you fight against wrinkles. And so, like, learning that, I always try to keep that food in my diet, right? And so, like, I'll make a smoothie with that. Maybe 1 scoop of protein powder of your choice. And, you know, you blend that other stuff and you have that for breakfast, or you have that as a snack. You can even have that at dinner.
Wow. Yeah,
you got a wealth of knowledge. You gotta put that out there. You gotta put it out there.
We gotta stay on top of each other, Reef, because definitely content creating is definitely the way to go with you, brother. You know, that, like, you have a world of knowledge, and not only that, you know what I'm saying, like your you know, the way you are with, like, building your companies, you know what I'm saying, like, as a, you know, entrepreneur, you know, entrepreneurship, you know, I know you have wealth of knowledge in that, you know, starting your own company, you know what I'm saying, like, that's a whole different story, but you have a ton of knowledge, and I feel like definitely content creating is right there, brother.
I appreciate y'all, definitely, for sure. Yeah, like, I definitely need that. I need that kick in the butt to say, yo, Reef, put it out. You know, put it out there.
You know what me and Steve are gonna do? We're gonna create a group chat, and then every morning we're gonna give you a video to create, and it's gonna be created for us, but you're gonna make it.
No, I'm with it, man. I'm with it. No, totally. But I'm gonna definitely be on it a lot more, and yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely right about that. Absolutely.
So any last positive words for the audience watching, you know, that maybe, you know, down right now because of what we're in, but is looking for that push to either get motivated for their business, their bodies, whatever advice you can give them.
Hold your head right now, people. You know, I know these are tough times. We've all been affected greatly, you know. None of us here are millionaires, and the millionaires aren't being affected, but even so, they are as well. But the most I could say is hold your head, you know, steadfast, be strong, keep your eyes on the prize, right? During this downtime, you should be devising plans. You should be planning for the better day, because the better day will come. You know, if you think about nature, right, it might rain all day long, but there's always one moment where the sun starts to shine again, and where you see that ray of light poke through the gray clouds. And this is what we're encountering right now, right? We've got a down moment. We've had tons of good sunshine in our lives and throughout this whole United States economy before the COVID hit. And now we've got gray skies. But the gray skies are going to go away. And it's what you do in this time which is going to help you, you know, when those gray skies clear going forward into your own personal future. So set good plans, have goals, you know, and work toward them right now. Like, don't spend the day playing video games. Don't spend the day just watching Netflix all day. Like, read a book, read something that's going to inspire you to think. Read, you know, here's one book I want everybody to start reading. You know, it's called The Richest Man in Babylon. For those of us out there who haven't really gotten a grasp financially of how to have better financial power in your life, read this book. It's an awesome book. It's going to give you tons of ideas on how to start, you know, winning the financial race for yourself. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. You know, taking in as much knowledge as you can during this time, because, you know, yes, some of us are at home working, and it's fine. And I get that, you know, you got to do your work, but those free moments, you know, educate yourself. Don't just say, oh, I'm too tired, because, you know, realistically, you give hours and hours of your life to your job and your employers, but you're not motivated to give hours and hours to your own personal self for your own fulfillment, you know, and that needs to change. Like, that is so wrong in terms of a mathematical equation. It can't be any wrong than that. Like, you should be working harder for yourself than you do at your job.
Amen.
You know?
Amen, brother.
And that requires you to, after a long day of work, you're spending an extra hour and burning the midnight oil to read and take in more knowledge for yourself. You're taking on a small project for yourself, which is going to help to reap rewards for yourself and your family, and you do this for your family, but it has to start, so that's the one thing that I can say, another thing is, I don't know how many people out there know who Jim Rohn is. He's a motivational speaker. You need to listen to this man. He's on YouTube. Search his name, JimRohn, and let his words penetrate your soul. Okay? Yep. And I listen to him every morning. I like to start my day listening to him and his words, because it just puts you in the right frame of mind to attack the world and to feel positive and to assail to your own potential. And it's just stuff like that that'll help you to start creating better space for yourself mentally, so you can persevere through these tough days, because it's tough out here, and you got to arm yourself the best way you can, right? There's a lot of junk on TV. There's a lot of junk when you're looking around. How can I arm myself for my own benefit and make myself the strongest soldier that I can make? And it's doing it this way, man.
Amen, brother.
Awesome. Good stuff, man.
No, I know.
Any final words for the audience?
Let me tell you something.
I'll see you guys soon. I want to see you guys. Hit me up, DM me. I'm coming out with more content. I promise you guys. But don't hesitate to even introduce yourself. Shoot me a line. Let me know you saw this. Yes. I know my man Caesar Lee's. Pop 247. Like, he been dealing with all you celebs. I've been watching all of the shows, and I've been following since jump. Like, you celebs, I want y'all to holler at me too. Like, I got celebrity clients. I got celebrity chef clients. Like, I can work with you guys. I can help you guys. Like, come holler at the big dog. I also do, training en español también, porque mi familia son de Puerto Rico, y ya yo hablo en español. Parlo francés, parlo italiano, je parle français, hablo en 3 idiomas. Entonces, yo puedo ayudar a quien sea en el mundo total, ¿me entiendes? Entonces, quería que supiera.
Nice.
Want you guys to know that I can help whoever in the world. And it's just a matter of connecting and reaching out. So I'm here for you guys, and it's been wonderful. I want to say thank you guys for having heard me and having had me on the show. And I hope some of my words was able to spark just the smallest little flame in either one of you. And if it touched one of you, then my job is done.
Us too, Reef. You know what I'm saying? Like, thank God. Thank you for coming on our show.
Thank you for having me, again. Thank you guys for having me. It's been a pleasure. Love to do it again. If you guys have some time or have the desire to do it. But totally open to doing that, man.
Amen, Reef. Yeah, big up, Reef.
Salute, Clive. Salute to you guys, man. You guys are awesome.
Amen. Thank you, Reef. Closing. I can't follow that up because Reef killed it right now. Just stay home. If you ain't got to go outside, don't go outside. You know what I'm saying? Definitely listen to what he's saying. I listen. Me personally, I listen to it was Babylon. The book you just said.
Babylon, The Richest Man in Babylon.
So I listened to it about a month and a half ago. And that book is serious. That's a serious book.
It's a small book. It's not a thick book. It's very easy to read.
I think it's like 4 hours. I think it's like a 3.5 hour, 4-hour book.
Yeah, it's in story form too. So it's easy to follow and it's imaginative. Like, read the book. It's definitely gonna give you some financial power.
So on Audible, it's funny because it takes you, like, the guy is like speaking like from back in the day type thing. Like, he goes on to this. I was like, what? Like, at first you got to get used to it, but it's as real as it is. It's going on. What's going on like right now? And that book, I don't know, Reef, if you ever heard the book, like actually heard it.
No,
You read it?
I just read it. I haven't done the Audible at all.
Listen to the Audible. You're gonna lose your mind. It's literally, it literally takes you to like Babylon. Like it literally, like the guy is like taking you to Babylon. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
the stories are ridiculous. I know you read it, but try to just listen to it, and it's a whole different kind of feel.
Cool.
Absolutely, no, absolutely. I definitely. I always try to reread the books I read. Because reading it more than once, sometimes you might miss something that you didn't catch the first time that you might catch the second time, or it might come, a little bit clearer to you the second or third time you read it. So I'm always, reading books 2 and 3 times through.
Amen. Yeah. So closing, stay home, please, and stay well. Re-listen to this, what Reef is telling you.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I gotta re-listen to it so I can get some,
Like I said, I'm here for you guys. Reach out.
I know, Reef. I know.
I missed something. I'm good on responding in emails. If you hit my DM, I'm not one of these guys that'll respond 20 hours later or 20 weeks later. Like, I respond in the minute, because I like to treat all of those instances as if you were talking to me face to face. If you were talking to me face to face, I wouldn't just ignore you for 20 hours or 6 hours. I would respond to you right away. And that's how I treat all emails and text messaging. So just know that, like, if you have a valid question or anything, like, I will respond.
All right. Reef, thanks again. You got anything,
guys,
Nick?
man. Much love.
Yep.
I'll see you guys soon. You guys be well, stay safe, and all the best.